Hi, I'm Eleanor Graves. I'm an interior designer and owner of Clean Air Homes in Baltimore, Maryland. In this video about inspiration and optics, I want to talk with you about white. I once had a client who said to me, "I hate color," which was a little funny to hear said aloud, but we talked a bit and I came to understand that he did not like interiors with a lot of intense hues. And that's no problem, I said to him, we can work with that. I also want to acknowledge that a lot of what informs my aesthetic and how I talk about interiors is through color theory. That might seem like a barrier for people who, like that client, say they don't like color or prefer a neutral palette or are colorblind. I had a friend who was very self-conscious about being colorblind and made the decision to only wear gray and black and white shades, which I thought that was really smart. He made it work for him and always looked really well put together. But color theory, I think, is especially useful in applications where colors are muted or we're just using neutrals, or as you'll see, we want to create a crisp white interior. You don't have to be able to discern all the subtle tones of the color wheel, but the optics are still in play, and understanding that is useful. So today I'm going to talk about a white interior and some of the ways this designer created a space that is as delicate and floaty and light-filled. Okay, so this interior has a very serene quality that is both elegant and tranquil. It is a simple layout, which from this angle looks symmetrical. The eye is drawn to pattern, to being able to see pattern and identify it. And symmetry is an easier one to spot. So I think that's why we see so much of it in photo shoots. The fireplace is at the center of the image and is creating an anchor with the art on either side, matching benches on either side, and then the furniture also on either side. One of the things I really like about the use of white in this space is how it's showcasing these bird paintings. These would otherwise be lost in a bolder color palette. The subtle details of like the feathers and the beaks, which you can't see because it's pixelating in my copy of this image, but yeah, those details are wonderfully situated in this white canvas, in this white setting. And the fine line, then we see a fine line motif, fine line detail elsewhere in the room. We see it in the frames, we see it in the fireplace screen, in the muntins over here on the French door between the window panes, and we see it in the table of the bench legs and in the coffee table, this texture on the sides. Those are also fine lines. So then let's talk about the whites, because there are a few different tints of white in here. And I think that's one of the great challenges of trying to create a white interior, is that you're never going to be able to match it all up exactly. I can see at least 5 different tints in here, but there are probably more. Interesting to me is that the brightest white is on the upholstery. And this seems very smart, I think, because if the walls and the table and the fireplace were all brighter whites, then the furniture might look dirty. And this designer selected a white for the walls that would make the furniture seem freshly cleaned. When I look at the walls and the ceiling, I see a slight green cast. And when I look at the furniture and the table, I see a slight red cast. And I think this is pretty interesting because red and green are opposite colors on the color wheel. And in this case, I think the white of the upholstery is popping so brightly because that very slight green cast on the wall behind it is helping it, is giving a little bit of extra boost, a little extra pop. The throw pillows and the rug are also in the red family as a desaturated or grayed out hue. And then the French doors are in the green family, a desaturated green, also here on the legs of the benches. And that's all having a nice conversation with the walls and the paintings. And I think that, it's always fun to check in a way, like what's really going on in the image is to check what's on the coffee table. I think I've talked about it so far in every video. The clues we get on the coffee table can tell us more about what's going on in the room. So yeah, there's the green and this blushy neutral. That sort of solidifies it for me. There is a lot more to say about the use of white in interior design, like how it's so important in the Scandinavian design and why it plays such a huge role in modern architecture, which is a whole other story, and I'll have to return to it again at a future video. So that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed the discussion, and let me know if you have any questions or thoughts in the comments. You can also find me online at cleanairhomes.com. I'm Eleanor Graves. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time.